afternoon, friends. Thanks for following me today. Today's special is I'm going to make is an Italian meatloaf, and I've made this for several years. And I want to show you how I make this, and hopefully at the end of this video you'll give it a try at your house. But let me give you the little backstory so why I came up with this recipe. And also, and I'll kind of work as I go and talk. I'll try to do that. I'm still new to this, so bear with me. I'm trying to work on my sound and everything, so give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. I know I tend to fade in and out, and I gotta get a mic so I can avoid these issues. But anyway, back to my meatloaf and the story. So here I've taken a couple of pounds of round ground chuck, and I think this is like 85% fat, or yeah, 85. I forget what the ratio is, but anyway, that's what I use for that because it gives it a when I make my burgers and stuff like that, or for so many ground beef dishes, I use the 93%. But this gives it a good flavor. So anyway, so let me just show you some of the things I'm going to add to this. Well, let me tell you the story. So yeah, I can't chew and talk, chew and talk and chew gum at the same time. There we go. Anyways, so I love meatloaf. I love a regular traditional meatloaf. Whenever I make meatloaf, I think of my great grandmother because I can remember being a child and being at her house, and I would be her little shadow and watch her. She was a great cook, and I used to stand alongside of her and watch her cook. And when I am just prepping meatloaf with the raw meat and the seasoning and the ketchup and the egg and all that and the onion, that smell immediately brings me to my great grandma. So I would eat meatloaf probably like once a week, but my husband detests meatloaf, so I don't want to be eating all that meatloaf myself, but love meatloaf sandwiches afterwards. How about you? Leave me a comment in the comments if you're liking yourself some meatloaf sandwiches with some mayo. Oh, that's awesome. But anyway, so that's kind of the story of why where it sprung out of. I thought, okay, let me figure out a way I can make meatloaf, right? Because meatloaf is just one of those things you should have in your repertoire of recipes for a family. And so I came up with this Italian meatloaf because my husband loves Italian food. He loves sauce, tomato sauce. So that's what this came out of. So what we're going to use today is, let me go through the list. I've got the ground beef. And I'm going to just bring in my platter and just show you all the stuff here. So I go through. I've got probably like this is about a half of a large onion, and I chop that up in my mini chopper. I like to chop it in the mini chopper because it gets it good and fine. And my hubby again doesn't like onions. If you don't like onions, that's the way to go. I have one egg. I have some breadcrumbs that I had. I toast up some old bread or stale bread in the oven, and then I put it in freezer bags so I have that ready when I need it. And I was all out of any prepackaged kind in my pantry, so I had to resort to my stash there. And then I used probably also so there's probably like a cup of the breadcrumbs, and then there's probably like a half a cup of some crackers I had in the pantry. I thought I'd add to it for my breadcrumbs, and I don't think I'm going to use this. So we got 2 cups. I'm probably not going to use the whole amount. I'll probably just use like maybe a cup and a half, because this is 2 pounds of ground beef. So then, of course, we've got to have we've got to have some garlic if we're having a nice Italian. Um, and then here's a mixture of herbs. I've got, let me just show you real quick, oregano, basil. I used a teaspoon of each. A half a teaspoon of ground black pepper. 1 teaspoon of dried parsley. If I had fresh, I would use that. I used a half a teaspoon of thyme, and I used a teaspoon and a half of salt. And I think that's all. And then I'll add a little crushed red pepper in there. I'll probably just do a couple of little shakes of that. And then for cheeses, I've got a pound of part skim mozzarella cheese. And over here, I've got some grated Parmesan. I grated up with my microplane. And you can see I use that hard cheese. I use that a lot in my recipes. And then I had some leftover pepperoni from a pizza I made the other night. And I'm going to use that for, the cheese is going to go as a filling for the meatloaf. So let me set that aside. And actually, while my hands are still clean, I'm going to finish slicing up that mozzarella cheese. It's real. You can use pre-shredded, but you know they put the anti-caking agents in there, so I don't like that. But I use it plenty of times because sometimes you're just in a rush and you don't want to take that extra step. But you know, when you're, you know, if you like to cook, part of the therapy and process of, or part of the therapy and doing the process is um, just peaceful. You know, I like to cook. I like to spend the time. So when I have the time, I'll take that little extra. So that's all sliced up, and I've done everything else. So I'm going to start to mix. Oh, I can't forget. So I will put a couple of tablespoons of. Actually, I think I'm going to use 3 because usually I make this in a smaller batch. But I'm going to take 3 tablespoons of, and they're kind of heaping tablespoons. It's that I came from an Italian town growing up in Connecticut, East Haven, Connecticut. Shout out! And I can't help it, but I gotta always do a little more. I need my little spatula to get that out. You know, I'm not Italian. My daughter did one of those DNA testing things, and I don't think, I don't know, I don't remember. I don't think we have a drop of Italian blood, but maybe not, because I don't know. There was some European, so I don't know. There's got to be some Italian blood in there, because let me tell you, I love Italian food. I love the joy and the passion Italian people have of life. I love that. And so then I did that, and I'm going to take all my spices, and I'm going to actually load that up, because I think I'll need that all. Put all my dishes in there. We're going to use the onion. I'm going to use all that. And let's see what's next. Oh, can't forget the garlic. Now, if this was just for me, I would overdo it on the garlic because I love garlic. But it is an Italian dish. We gotta have a full heaping teaspoon of garlic. Let me set that aside. All right, and let's see. Then we're gonna use. We'll put the egg in here next. Sometimes you might need a little milk for liquid when mixing it. We'll see. Kind of forgot about that. And then I gotta wash my hands quick because that was a little bit messy. And then I'm going to take let's see. I'm going to start with a cup. I don't know that I need 2 cups. Put that in there. And let's use, let's see. Yeah, that was pretty good. That was a whole cup. Whole cup of Parmesan. I'm going to put this aside. I probably put a little more on the top. And then, am I forgetting anything? I don't think so. So we're going to go right in. Here's fun. Get in touch with your inner child. And get your hands all goofy and messy. I'm going to give that a good mix through so everything's evenly distributed. Now, this is the way I make my Italian meatloaf. You might have some better ideas. And you might already make this at your house. Let me know in the comments if you make anything like this. So I'm just mixing that through. I feel like it smells pretty good, but I feel like it needs something. I don't want to overdo it. No, I think this is going to be good. Well, knowing the finished product, I'll have to let you know. All right, so I feel like, you know what? It needs a little more tomato sauce. I mean paste. Because we are going to put tomato sauce in here, in the pan. I might add a little bit. Oh no, I don't want to do that. I was going to add my sauce, but I need to put that on the pizza so that I can, the pizza, and the, I'm going to do 2 more, so that'll be a total, you know what, let's use the whole can. I'm not going to save 1 tablespoon or so of, let's use the whole can. You got to use, sometimes you just got to eyeball it or use your nose for, tells you, you know what, you need a little more. How it looks, how it smells. Yeah, use the whole can. So you use 6 ounces of tomato paste, and that's not going to hurt it one bit. Now, generally, when I make homemade sauce, I usually add a little bit of red wine, and I'm all out of that. This would be great if I, especially in the bottom, once I empty out my jar, you know how there's a little left in the jar. Sometimes I'll put water in there just to get that little bit out. I use a little red wine in there and get the rest, the end of that sauce. So now I gotta wash my hands. Yeah, that smells good. See? Smells good. All right. You know, it's great to have your family members, your kids or your grandkids come alongside you, and it's great to pass on the tradition. So let me go get the pans. All right. I pre-grease these pans with a little olive oil. And you're going to have grease from the fat from the meatloaf, but I don't know. I just feel like it helps it not stick as much on the bottom. And anyways, oh, I wanted to remember to tell you. So these pans, these are bread pans or loaf pans. And these were my mom's passed down to me. I just love using stuff that I know family members have cooked so many hundreds or thousands of recipes in these. I don't know. I'm kind of nostalgic that way. I don't know. Is there something wrong with me there? Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, it's fun. It's fun. It's fun to pass it down. So anyway, I'm going to take a spoon and I'm going to take, a couple spoonfuls. And if you can see, I'm kind of just patting that down. You can use your hands if you want. And we're just going to make a layer on the bottom. You kind of want swoosh it down so it's even, so you don't have one side way up high and the other side really low. It's not going to cook evenly that way. So that's my goal here. Pretty close. I do have my oven preheated at 350. So we're going to cook this for 350. Now, normally I only make one, but this time I'm making two. So I'm thinking it's going to take a little over an hour. I'll put that in the comments or the link below, or, you know, probably in the comments or the description about how long it actually took. Because I didn't test that part out. I just usually go by making one. All right, so I got about half left. Do you see that? Let's put a little bit more in this one. I feel like I'm lacking a little bit. Actually, we probably don't need, probably want more on the top, so, or more on the bottom than we do the top. Right, because this bottom is going to be exposed to the bottom rack, and I think it'll cook better if that part's a little thicker. So there we go. All right. So we've already put all our seasoning in there, and I did forget to do the red crushed pepper. So I'm just gonna put a little sprinkle, and here you could use extra garlic powder if you wanted to add the more garlic. Shh, don't tell my husband. But maybe one of them I'll put a little extra more garlic. I'll have to mark it for me. Oh, yeah, that's how I'll do the market. You can't get, but I gotta have a little extra garlic. So this one will be especially for me. Okay, that wasn't a lot. Okay, so now you're gonna take your sauce. All right. Doesn't matter. I'm using Classico today. Today I decided to use the Italian sausage one because, right, it's Italian meatloaf. So I'm going to put a couple of tablespoons to just give you that good Italian flavor. We used about a half a jar there. So you're going to put that on there. Let me put the sauce over here. All right, now you're going to take your mozzarella. And you probably only need, I'm not going to need all this, but I already have it sliced, and I'll use some. Let's see, how do I want to double it up? Yep. Can you see? I guess I'm blocking the way there. There you go. So probably use like 6 pieces here. And then we're going to take the pepperoni and probably maybe 3 slices across the pan. I usually use more of a casserole type of dish. I have this porcelain pans that I use a lot. I got from Pampered Chef. I love those. They cook everything wonderfully. But I just decided to do it this way because I wanted the nice rectangular slices. So maybe you could shape it rectangular anyway. But let me move this aside and we'll do this one. And then, because you're definitely going to want to put this on a baking sheet when you bake this, because I can foresee drippage happening. But I'm not going to take everything out now, so there we go. And see how it looks. And then we'll take the rest of that pepperoni. You really can't eat a huge amount of this. Um, like, it tastes so good, and I want to keep eating more, but then it gives me heartburn, so I can't eat too much at once. So, boy, we just had enough. Wow, how do you like that? I planned that out good. So there you go. That's how it looks. That's how that one looks. And now, oh, I had a couple pieces in here. Oh, wow. Let's put one in here and a couple in here. There we go. Now we're going to put our top layer on there. And maybe we'll be okay. So I was kind of concerned this might spill over. We'll see. And it doesn't have to be perfect on the top here. Like, I'm going to put this aside, make sure I have enough. So I think this one's going to have less. Ooh, I probably could have made the bottom a little less thick, but really it's okay as long as this covers pretty well. And you're going to put more mozzarella on there anyway. So if you're making it, just make your bottom a little thinner, okay? I just had enough. There we go. And on the side, now we're going to, oh, hey, what's the end? And we're going to put some more sauce on there. Let's just pour it on. Doop, 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 doop. Now, let me know what you would serve with this. Would you serve pasta? And what kind of pasta? Or would you serve this with like creamy mashed potatoes? I got an idea. I'm thinking about doing like a Parmesan potato crisp with some Italian herbs in there. I might try that. We'll see. We'll see how I get in the rest of the day if I can get that accomplished. But I was thinking I want something a little different. So anyway, so there we coated the top, and now you're just gonna take your leftover mozzarella. So this is gonna be cheesy, yummo, right? Cheesy. This one I'm tearing up a little bit more. It's my rustic look. It's the rustic look, right? Well, and that's kind of what you think about with Italian food, right? Like really rustic, homemade, home cooking. Yum. There we go. And of course, we just have to have a little more cheese because do we have enough cheese in here? I don't know. Let me get my microplane and let's get a little bit going on the top here. Like I said, I've preheated my oven and I'm gonna put it in there. I'm gonna hit an hour and then see where I'm at. I'll put my little thermometer and check it out to see if it's cooked all the way through. I'm thinking in my mind, if I had to guesstimate, I think it was going to be like an hour and 15 minutes. We'll see if my guesstimation idea was there. And I'm just going to put them in the oven just like this, and we will see you later. All right, friends, that was a quick welcome back, right? I've cooked my meatloaf for just a tad over like maybe an hour and 5 minutes. It cooked pretty quick. I think using these thinner pans, it cooked pretty fast. So I think if I cooked it in a thicker casserole dish, maybe it would took. So I'm going to put this in here. It should read at least 160, which is way over that. So I probably could have cooked it for another little, like maybe 15 minutes less in these pans, but I think it'll still be fine with all the sauce. Just look at that cheesiness. Does that look good or what? It's good to me. But the proof here, well, we gotta show you the other one, right? Now, I can freeze one of these, and then I'll have it for a meal later another time. So I'm gonna take a little bit of taste so we can see. And you can drain off some of that fat, but right now I'm just going to go in here. It's always hard to get that first piece out, right? And you can serve this with so many different side dishes. You can do a creamy mashed potato. I talked about maybe serving this with a smashed Parmesan crisp potatoes. You can do this with pasta, but see, actually, I'm trying to see if you can show you that middle there with the mozzarella cheese and the pepperoni. I'm gonna let that cool down. I'd say let you take a look at here, but there's so much sauce, and you're just gonna want to drain off some of that fat because that's what gives you that heartburn. So you can't get really good look at the inside, but yeah, I'll do that later. I won't bore you with the details, but anyway, let's take a taste, all right? So, got the cheese, the pepperoni. It's hot. Hold on. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, my idea is having some creamy mashed potatoes. That to me would be, that's what I'm in the mood for. That's what I'm going to make. So this is going to be our supper tonight. Had to do an early supper because we had a meeting. So I want to get a good meal in. I'm going to take another bite. Y'all, you got to try this. It's so good. Hey, if you like this video, please hit the like button. And if you're watching me on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Please don't forget to make your comment on what you would serve with this. And for more of these fun cooking at home videos and just other fun stuff about the home, please join me next time. It was great spending some time with you today and sharing this recipe. I hope you like it. We'll see you next time.